Hi, Dharma friends. This is Shirley, and I'm here to chair this morning's service. Well, I've heard recently that several temple members have passed away. So when we do the gasho, when we say Namo Amida Butsu, then think of your loved ones that passed away and think of them with gratitude. So please join me in gasho with palms together. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namo Amida. Thank you. So I'm here to introduce Minister Assistant Sharon Sasaki. Her dad was retired, or it's a retired reverend, so she's made him very proud. She's also a longtime Dharma school teacher. She's going to give the Dharma message on think big. I'm not exactly sure what that's about, so let's listen to her and find out.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good day. My name is Sharon Sasaki. I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to give you this talk today. So let's go ahead and get started. I will share my screen. The title of my talk is Think Big. And the ideas from this talk are from this excellent introductory Jodo Shinshu book, Ocean by Reverend Dr. Kenneth K. Tanaka. The idea for this topic came from the Dharma School theme this year. Our Buddhist Temple San Diego Dharma School's theme is I squared, math equation, equals impermanence times interdependence. And this made me think about BIIG. And in Dr. Tanaka's book, these are also known as the 4 marks of existence in Buddhism. So what is BIIG? Let's start with B. B is for bumpy. So life is a bumpy road. You can see this picture here is of a pretty smooth path, no real bump, and everything's pretty clear and smooth. Whereas on this side, we have a bumpy road with some rocks and things that mar our path. So this is a bumpy road. And the first premise is that life is a bumpy road, like the one on the right more than the one on the left. Some examples of how is life bumpy. You can see the girl here in the picture. She is looking sad and she's looking left out and excluded. This is something that the kids feel often from school or on social media, and adults also all feel this way sometimes, I think. I certainly have in my life. So the feeling of being excluded is part of the bumps in life. How else is life a bumpy road? This is my favorite baseball team, the San Francisco Giants. Unfortunately, they did not win the championship this year. Only one team ends up happy and smiling and the winners of the World Series every year. And this year wasn't the Giants. Everyone experiences loss, whether it's your favorite team or your own team, not only in sports, but just in daily life, whether it be work, social activities. There's times that they don't go as we hope. And this is a personal example for me. I consider it bumpy. Not sure from her perspective. This is my daughter, Zoe, when we dropped her off at college. She went off to college this year at Irvine, and it was a difficult day and difficult evening when we dropped her off and felt this feeling of emptiness and how something was missing. And that was my daughter when she went off to college. So the I in the BIIG, the first I is for impermanent. What are some examples of impermanent? One is what we've all been facing the past year and a half with the pandemic. We've all gone through so many changes, from virtual school, online work, losses of jobs, individuals who, loved ones who may have passed away or gotten sick, wearing masks. And it's just been this past year and a half's just been something where impermanence has certainly touched everyone with the changes of our lifestyles, changes of our lives, including our kids, as you can see in this photo, or these two photos. How else is life impermanent? This is me, a photo of me, probably when I was about 3 or 4 years old, with my grandparents, Reverend Sharon Sasaki on the left-hand side, and my grandma, Mrs. Kinuko Sasaki. My grandfather passed away when I was 5 years old, and my grandmother when I was a freshman in college. So when we experience loss of loved ones, our grandparents, our family members, this is a reminder of the impermanence of life. Pets can also remind us of impermanence. This is our wonderful dog, Coco, our Chihuahua Terrier. She's still alive and frisky and kicking, but when I see her, I'm always kind of in the back of my mind aware of the shorter lifespan that dogs have compared to people. And so I really cherish the times with her, kind of knowing that the dog lifespan is supposedly something like 7 times shorter than humans. Some other reminders of impermanence for our personal family. This is me with Zoe and Ava, probably when they were about 1 and 3 years old. On the left, the good old days at Legoland when we used to go and had a season pass. Those days are long past, as is how Halloween is going to be this year. This was probably the last Halloween where Zoe and Ava both did heavy trick-or-treating, as you can see from their hauls over here. And we'll always have the memories, but with Zoe off in college and Ava no longer really trick-or-treating, shows the impermanence of Halloween. So the second I is for interdependent. What is interdependent? So life is interdependent means that we're a product of many influences that create who we are and how we feel. A few weeks ago, some of us participated in Feeding San Diego, where we sorted apples that will go to people who need help getting enough food. So in this way, we work together to help others feel better and get nourishment. And you can also think about the golden chain that we recite in Dharma school. I hope you saw this wonderful golden chain that was created by Mr. Ken Muraoka for Kenji Sensei and Karen for one of their farewell gifts. The golden chain, we think about impermanence because every link in the chain makes each other stronger and brighter, and shows how we're all interconnected. Humans, animals, plants, and all living beings around the world, as represented by the golden chain. Itadakimasu is another phrase that reminds us of interdependence, or reminds me of interdependence. Itadakimasu means gratitude to the entire universe. I learned this from a blog that I read from Reverend Harry Bridge, who wrote about how the late Reverend Kusada, who was the minister at the Berkeley Buddhist Temple back when I was in college in Berkeley, he said that the food we are eating is plants and animals that gave their life. And the plants and the animals need the earth, the rain, the sun. All of those things are in the food we are eating, along with innumerable other causes and conditions. So we say thank you to the entire universe by saying itadakimasu. Relating to my family, I found this piece of art that my daughter Ava made a few years ago. And it made me think about the interdependence of families. When kids help their parents by cleaning up without being asked, or share their toys with their sister or brother, they make the family members feel happier and more likely to pass it on and be kind and pass the joy on to others. On the other hand, when a family member says something mean to one another, it propagates anger, and another family member might then do something mean themselves or say something that they don't really want to say. So that can also happen. Or when you're feeling sad, when a child is feeling sad, the parents, mom and dad, feel that sadness as well and try to do whatever they can to make the child feel better. And these are ways that families are interdependent. So we get to the last letter, G. G is for good or great. So G is life is fundamentally good or life can be great. This is a photo of some kids then, and now they have all actually graduated from high school. And in here they're jumping in joy. And this to me is a great example of just the greatness of how life can be. So life can be great means that with the right attitude, despite the bumps in life, we can experience a life of great joy and meaning. During times of sadness or difficulties, we can feel brighter when we remember the Buddhist teachings. Instead of feeling left out or excluded, we are embraced and accepted just as we are. Kenji Sensei talks about going from me to we. So this is a little representation of the generations that came before you. We remember the many generations, you, your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and so on, and just the exponentially vast number of people who made you who you are. And when we think about this, we also realize how lucky we are to be here on this planet Earth, in our solar system, and our distance from the sun, and in our Milky Way galaxy. And when you really think about it, realizing how lucky we are to be here. So this to me shows how life can be great and how the Buddhist teachings can help us realize that. So to wrap up, BIIG, think big, or the 4 marks of existence in Buddhism. Life is a bumpy road. Life is impermanent. Life is interdependent. And life is fundamentally good, or life can be great. I really like this because it's easy to remember, and I think about it, and it helps me when someone asks, what are the fundamentals of Buddhism, or what is Buddhism about? Think big is a good way for me to look at that and to explain it. And thank you very much for this opportunity again, and thanks for listening. I'll close with Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Thanks for explaining Think Big. Now we know that it's a shortcut for the 4 marks of existence. Oh, normally at this point, that we would have announcements if we were in person, but since we're not in person, if you could check the YouTube, Buddhist Temple YouTube, our website for more information on activities. And thank you very much for watching the service. And as she said, life can be great. Have a great day.